Here we are in part 2 of the new section of the Dear Abby questions. I'm going to answer as many as I can for you this evening. Just an FYI, I don't re-answer questions already asked. You have to look in the videos previously to get your answers on those. And we'll take it away. Got some on a sticky note because they were on different sections. John Moriarty asked me about whether I have ever done an original character of my own design. And I kind of have with the Crystal Fury with Jeff Matsuda and oh my goodness, my brain just left me. Comic Conquest, there we go. We designed that character together, so that is an original character. I've also have plenty of sketches of designs that I haven't made or I will plan on making, just it's a matter of finding time. Dorian asked if I had ever considered Aveline from Assassin's Creed. I have to say, as much as I love the Assassin's Creed franchise, my favorite game was the first one, and I love the character designs for Aveline, but I've just never been inspired to do that character. Joseph Andelman asked, what have you enjoyed more recently? Remaking old costumes until they are even more badass or developing costumes for new characters? Both. It's all creativity, it's all creating, it's all doing something I love, so I don't really quantify it. I just enjoy doing it. Jared Noble, if there was one character design / cosplay you would look at and completely change, what character design / cosplay would it be? There's so many that I would probably put my own spin on. I think for one, I would see about putting Poison Ivy back to her regular natural skin tone and maybe doing a little change, but that's already been kind of done by Artgerm recently. I would like to see a little bit of a redesign on Black Cat. The black bodysuit could be so much more. I think I want a movie style Black Cat, kind of like what they did with the Avengers or Iron Man 2 Black Widow. You know, really make that suit something special. So, Sean asked, what would your dream cosplay be? And I've already answered that in another video. Craig Brooks, where in the world would you most like to visit in the next year? I would like to go back to London, and I think I would like to go to Italy or maybe a South American country. I just really want to get out of the U.S. It's been quite a few years since I've been out of the United States. I really miss Europe, so I'd like to go back. Matt asked, have you ever seen Dead Man Don't Wear a Plaid with Steve Martin? I have not. I might have to check that out. David asked, apples or oranges? Both. I love fruit. And Carl Wilhelm asked, any chance you will cosplay Red Sonja? I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to smile mysteriously, wink at you, and we'll talk about that later, okay? Let's see. Grant, what are my thoughts on Game of Thrones, the TV series and the books? Favorite characters and plots? Least favorite things about it? Where would you like the books to go in the future? And etc. Okay, so big confession time. I have not read to the most recent Game of Thrones book. I think I got to second or third book and they killed, and I'm not going to say whom for spoilers for other people who haven't read it. They killed someone. And I literally chucked that book across the room and decided I wasn't going to read anymore because I couldn't take the heartbreak. I love the TV series because I love the costume design. I love the characters. Daenerys is my gal. I love her. And I actually like Cersei a lot because she's so badass, even though you're going to hate her, but, you know, I like her a lot. So I love the storyline, I love the plots, and I really enjoy it, but I don't know if I can go back to the books. I think I might just have to stick with the TV series. Let's see. Scotty asks, if Batman, James Bond, and Indiana Jones were forced to fight, who would win and why? I'm going to go with Batman. Batman's usually always the answer. Lee asks, have you ever thought of going out as Hawkgirl? I think I love Hawkgirl. My favorite incarnation of her is in JLA. The animated series. I loved that, or Justice League Unlimited, whatever they called it at that time. I loved her in that, but the thought of running around a convention with wings like that, just, no, no. Let's see, Rick. The complexity of costumes and armor in comics, films, and games due to increased budgets and CGI must be making it difficult to reproduce for cosplayers. As a result of this, do you see there being an increase in fan-funded events like Project Lex and a decline in the do-it-yourself cosplay? There are many new comic-based movies and TV shows now. Are there any that you are particularly looking forward to seeing? Why? Also, are there any that you're really not interested in seeing? Why? I don't know about fan-funded events. I think it's according to the project and people's interest in it. I can't speak to other people's choices and what they choose to invest their money in. I think that a lot of things are difficult to reproduce, but that's half the fun, is figuring it out, is figuring out how to make the improbable possible. And that's one of the things I love about things like the replica prop form. Recently, somebody did a Gypsy Danger Jaeger costume, and it was so amazing. It was so cool, and it's just awesome seeing people do things like that. And I think that as far as comic-based movies and TV shows, I have to reserve judgment until I've seen it, until I can base a really big opinion. It's like when I first started watching Arrow, I was like, that doesn't happen in the comics. That's not how it was in the comics. Like, I literally sat there, it was like, you know, and Zen was like, would you just enjoy the show, please? And now we're into the next season, and I'm like, I love this show. This is a good show. I like this show. Whereas with S.H.I.E.L.D., I couldn't get into it. I wanted so badly to, and I just couldn't. I think it depends on the writing, the acting, and the whole ball of wax to see how it goes off. Let's see. Leet, as an aspiring male cosplayer, what's the best way to break into the business? And then he talks about how he can make his hair glow and hair stand on end. So what's the best route to get going? Cheap but good cameras, video, cheap routes for costumes, where to meet people, etc., etc. Leet, I don't know a thing about how to get into the business of cosplay. To myself, I don't think there is a business of cosplay. This is not my business. This is my hobby. This is my passion. These are things I'm involved in. So I'm not the one to talk about the business side of things. The only people who I see making a business out of it, model, or they are paid promoters, or they are prop or costume makers who actually have LLCs and the whole actual legal stuff. As far as, you know, the best route to get going, you need to pick a character or a costume that you want to do, research it, figure out how to make it, and go for it. And just go to any convention you want to and meet people by being yourself. Do it for here, and you know, you'll find your way. Paul asks, Dear Abby, have you ever said wobbler instead of warbler intentionally? You know, just in the company of friends, maybe in the process of trying things on. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Paul, so I'm gonna say maybe. Okay. Sam asks, if you were a Kryptonian, how would you use your powers? Would you use them for good like Superman and Supergirl? Would you use them for evil like General Zod? I would probably be the Batman of Kryptonians, where I'd probably try to be good, but I'd have like tendencies where I'd have to do things that could be that line, because sometimes Superman annoys me because it's like, come on, dude, just go for it. Just do it. And yeah, I'd be the Batman of Kryptonians. Mark, what character have you always wanted to try but haven't? Why not? I've answered that before. Let's see. With more people migrating to Google+, asked Mark Noel, is there a way for you to easily copy your post there too? I wish. I'm trying to figure that out, because I have so much content on this page, and it's a little annoying migrating to Google+, and I know I need to do more of it. I need to clone myself and get the other Abby working on it. And And Paul, is there a working Iron Man power core next to you in the case there in your vids? In the other Dear Abby questions, it is. It's actually a prop, and you can find it on eBay. And that is the last of the Dear Abby questions. I hope everyone had fun. We'll do this again. Subscribe, like, share, and we'll talk more later. I'll see you guys.